Right there you can see all the holes are drilled, weld through primers in there. I blacked out this section, got a bit of a run there, blacked out the sections on both sides, which will be behind that, behind the brace, or sprayed behind the braces with etch primer. The braces are in there, etch primer and some black enamel as well. Currently celebrating that floor went in before, a bit easier than I thought. So yeah, we're getting there. I've got to let this paint dry now for probably half an hour or something, and then get stuck back into it again. So there you can see the blacked out sections either side there, just a satin black. The blacked out section through the middle down here, where you look up through the holes on the brace. The braces are the floor braces over there. You can see on the floor just down here, it's got the weld through primer. It's blacked out in the middle as well, because I can't get back to that at a later date. So they're ready to go, and yeah, we'll keep cracking along. Ready to go. Round two. Let's do it. Loading. Up round four. Just one side of that. I said it's way easier to be. Go on. That's pretty close. See what it does again. Oh, get up. Hold it up. Get up. Get up. That's it. A little bit across the last one. That's up. That's up. Right, that side's up. That's pretty close there. Let's see if we can't get a couple of floor bolts in again. Blood everywhere. Where did I put the washers? Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, don't get like that. What's that now? All right. Look at that. Look at that on that side. Okay, let's get some floor button. Step up and go. Alright, blood everywhere. Blood inside my hand, blood on my wrist, blood on my back of my hand. I had freaking gloves on the whole time. And then I go and do this bit, and all those little spot welds in there are really sharp, so I didn't grind the other side off. I'll do that right now. It's all in there, I'll grind it off. I'll do it right now. Put the flat on. Don't touch the anymore. Put the gloves on. Take the floor brace. What do you got there? Maybe not too bad. Not too bad. 4 or 5. Yeah, pretty good. I need a couple of tech screws and techie that floor brace in. Pull it up against the pan. I'll just move my camera around a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing there. Let's see if we can't zoom that a bit. pretty much. Alright, what I might do is I might take this out. No, that should pull in alright. Let's see how it goes. Let's get this one in up here first. Yep, that's got it pretty close there. I'll just pull in one bit at a time. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll get some more. Let's get these in first. Get it all apart. Yep. Let's go down really close. Get some more there. We'll do like rolling. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's not get inside. No, it's one right. Go on the inside. Try and get back in there. Okay, focus. Yeah, get it. Let's so this one. It's on the other side. No, pull down really close. Just go that side. I'm going to do this. I'll go down. No. Get this one. Perfect. Excellent. Oh, man. Man, I'm absolutely freaking knackered. Let's get that firewall in there. What the hell was that? It was my phone, was it? To hold this up. Techies. So I can see this bolt hole here is starting to misalign, so I've got to pull it across. Before I put a screw in. Alright, let's pull it across a bit, get a screw in somewhere where I can fix it. There we go. And one more over here. Alright, now. So there's the bolt hole, or there's the drill holes where I drilled out the old floor, and you can see this new floor looks like it's about 5mm short. So every one of those are going to be out, but I might have to put a drill hole in on an angle and try and get a screwdriver in and lever it back across and pull that brace out. At least I can get more than half the hole attached. It's covering most of them over the hump, but you can see they're out on the other side as well, so a little bit of fiddly work here to try and rectify that. Right, forgot to turn the camera on. I drilled a hole down here, I put the screwdriver through, I can pull it across, I could be able to get a tech screw in into that one. So I'm just sort of stretching the pan back out now, which probably be better if I release all these Tech screws here for now. Release the floor bolts. It's loose. It's loose. Got a techie in here somewhere. Should better get one in there. Alright, that'll hold that bit. I can do the same over here somewhere. That'll work. Get the screwdriver in there. Yeah, that'll do the job. At least I got most of the hole covered by the floor. It's time to get the brace under the floor. Got all that stuff over there. Let's do up the floor bolts first. There we go. All right. Floor brace. Just get this back under there. Looks like it was coming out. I'll have to get my copper out. I got a copper backing strip I can put behind. I got a hole here that's not really doing anything, so I'll have to get a bit of copper up in behind there, plug the hole, weld it over. All right, floor brace. Where is it? Here. So what I'm hoping to do with this is get it up on one side, get a friggin' bolt in the middle, and righto, just a bit of a recap. That's the floor in. What I also did was I sat the old floor in on top of it, marked out my shifter position. That's the original shifter position. I think it's got these four hole positions here for the shifter. I think the outside is the rubber boot that covers it, something like that anyway. I haven't got the diagonal bracing under here yet because underneath the bottom here, I'll actually show you if I can get some light under there. I'll get this light here. Let's get under the car. Oh. So under here where the brace goes in, I've got 1, 2, 3, probably maybe 4 or 5 spot welds to put in there first. Once I put them in there and that's welded up, then I'll get the brace in. I'll get it tech screwed in position. You can see where the brace goes across the car. I've got the same 4 or 5 spot welds to do on the opposite side there. Once that's done, floor brace can go in. I'll have to weld them. I'll have to weld them, then grind them back. So the brace, because the brace kind of fits in comes along here and it drops down the side. It's got a bit of a step in it. Then it runs along the side here and goes back up through that flat spot. See how it's got these dimples either side there. The brace comes down through the middle here. It's cleaned up pretty nicely. The floor's in, even just with some Tech screws in it, the floor feels really solid. You can see how this, I don't know if you can, I can't bend my neck that far. How this other brace fits in here. You can see the body mount above it. So this is the tricky bit about replacing the floor. The way I did it is you have to cut out this section here of the rear chassis rail. See the chassis rail comes, I don't know if you can see it. I can't look at the camera. Let me get my head around here. All right, there we go. See how the chassis rail comes along the back here. I have to plug weld that, fully weld this back in. I've prepped the other piece already, got to prep this piece as well. Fully welded in, it comes along here, gets probably 2 or 3 tack welds there, 2 or 3 tack welds there, then it tack spot welds along the side here. Like the rest of it here, sort of fits along and goes up. So it just joins it, so you have 3 layers of steel. You have the body mount bracket behind the panel, then you have your floor panel here, and then you have the chassis rail that comes across on top of it, which completes the rear chassis rail onto that body mount. So you can see back here, I don't know if you can see it, there's another body mount up in here. Hard for me to do it, I'm on my back on the floor, but you can see, yeah, so it comes along, finishes up along here. So I have to get these 3 spot welds done here too. A couple up here. I'll just do all these side floor spot welds before I do any of this floor bracing stuff, but the floor bracing stuff's gonna have to be tomorrow. I've been at this floor's been in 3 times now. First time I forgot to do the spot weld holes for the body mount at the front, so I took it out, put it back in. Then I had the body mount on the bottom here, and the bracket couldn't fit on, so to take it back out, move the body mount to the back side, because this other one comes across here. It comes across and it steps up, and it has some spot welds on here to hold this to that part as well, to make it really strong. Yeah, so a lot of welding to do. I'm going to get the body mount welded in first so the car's strong. I'm going to get this back bit welded in, this back mounts here welded in so it's nice and strong. And get the mount in. Then I can lift the car up and rotate it over again. Put my internal braces back in, get the car rotated over, get rid of all these floor jacks, or what do you call them, car stands. And then I'll put this stiffener brace through the guts of it here. Once that's in, I'll cut the hole for the shifter, finish all the plug welds, and we'll be good. Let me just get out from under here again. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, I don't know. I've sort of searched through YouTube, and I haven't seen anyone replace the whole floor like this. Everyone does like a dodgy little patch. But if you've seen the little bodgy patches that you can buy, they're like rare spares or resto spares, or they make them, but they have like this crease line at the top there where it's overlapped that side of the side of the tunnel and the front of the firewall, and it's just a lapped joint. It looks so shit. This thing here, when I'm finished, this will look like original from the bottom. You won't see any marks or welds or whatever. I'm really happy with how it's gone in. You can see how when I put the Tech screws in here, we'll bring the light up closer. When I put those Tech screws in here, you can see how close. You see how close the body mount is to the floor here. It's excellent fit. See how close, you can see that little weld through primer, that coppery colour in the back there. They're right up against it, so it's an excellent fit. I got all the spot welds across the top of this firewall. They're a pain in the arse. I got to do them from the other side, but I'll get all these welded in. I'll get the bottom welded in, all the other side welded in, do the floor brace. Oh jeez. Then I will Then I'll roll a car over and do those either upside down or sort of on its side, because up, like on its side or right side, or opposite side, what do you call it, wrong side up. Otherwise it's a real difficult thing to weld in. But yeah, it looks excellent. You can tell I'm tired, I'm getting my words wrong. Here's my main drama down here, like I mentioned. Here's the original spot welds I drilled out from the old floor. You can see how exposed they are. This one down here, can you see my finger on there? That edge there is the edge of the old floor, so I'm going to put some copper behind there and weld these holes up and drill some additional holes along here. This one's just like a free hole all the way through here. Can you see that? That's my finger in the back of it there. Doesn't even match the body mount, but what I had to do was try and get this floor, and the I don't know what you call it, the floor, the seat mount hole, all aligned. They're pretty bloody close. You can see there the 3 holes lined up above each other. Got a bolt in here, bolt in there, a couple of Tech screws holding that back floor in, and it looks freaking sick. So keep watching, and I'll do some plug welding in one of them in the next day or so. I'm gonna retire for the night. It's probably 8 o'clock at night. I've been going since 12. It's probably 8 hours. They were the holes for the handbrake cable. Remember I said they didn't turn up in the floor, so you can see there's the one hole, there's the other hole, so my handbrake fits right on top of that. I know that for a fact because I went upstairs, got the handbrake out of the box, got the handbrake on top of its bracket there. I don't know if you can look down for that gap right there, but you can see the hole is lined up, and down there you can see the holes lined up. And over the back there, if I turn it a bit, you can see, where is it? You can see the holes lined up there too. So there's that, and then down the middle there is that hole which lines up with the bottom of the handbrake, and that's that hole down the bottom there. So that oval shaped one. A lot of work, let me tell you. If you're going to take this on yourself, take it slow. Plan to knock a couple of days out of your life to do this. If you do it right. Use all your weld through primer. Get everything aligned correctly. You can see all these bolts are going to line up. That's that bracket under the floor there. Righto, time to start welding the floor in. I would have started an hour ago, but I I got 3 welding shields. Went to pick them up, use them, every one of them flat battery. So double check before you get started. I should have known last night. Did a couple of tack welds, and the auto darkening wasn't working for the last couple of welds. Just hit your test button. Hit the test button in your screen. You'll see the difference it makes just by hitting it. I don't know if that shows up in there, but if I press that button, it goes dark like that. Test it before you use it. Last thing you want is an arc flash. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start doing all the welds in the floor here. I'm going to get the floor brace to the floor weld done first, and then work my way through the rest of it. I'll film a little bit. I won't film the whole lot, but you'll be able to see. So what I got here is I have Tech screw there, 2 holes exposed, Tech screw. So I'll weld those two, swap those take those Tech screws out, weld those holes up, work my way around. What have I got that set at? Let me just check my welder. The gas. Oh, that's correct. Just a bad ground, it feels like. Let's see what that's like. Yep, good. I'll show you what I've done there. You can see they call them a spot weld, but they actually call it like a rosette weld. So you start by putting your wire straight in the middle of the hole. Start welding on the back panel, and then you sort of roll around it to create that sort of rosette weld that I'm talking about there. So I'll show you with this scrubber here. Sorry about that shaking around. It's a bit awkward trying to squeeze in the car here. So I start with my torch right in the middle of there. I'll burn it in, and then I come out to the side and I roll around in a circle. And that creates those, I don't know, they're a little bit high. They're a bit of a button sort of shape. But I'll get my little air grinder and whip the top off them, and I'll flap it, just come down flat. So I'll weld these three in here, then I'll take out those tech screws, I'll weld that one down there, and then I'll get the hammer and knock this edge in a bit because it's a little bit of a gap. Then I'll weld those in, remove all the tech screws. Alright, climb back in after the little tutorial there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, got a bit of a problem with my gun. It feels like I checked the MIG welding machine itself, and it has voltage output, but nothing from the gun. So I'm thinking I must have burnt a wire inside here or something, and it's not working. So I thought I'd open it up, have a look. No use doing nothing in the garage here. So the weld is isolated, gas is off. See what's happening. Like, I know the trigger works because when I press the trigger, oh, there you go, look at that. It's broken. It's broken its wire off the end here, probably from me yanking on it too much. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, so you can see here the cable, crimped a new terminal on there. Had to shorten the gas hose as well because I had to cut the end of this off, push this one back through, and you can see here everything clicks and works. So I'm just going to reassemble the body of this and put it back together. And there's the neighbour's dog bloody barking again. Put it together, like so. Screw it in. Looking at it's ratty in itself. These pliers, you can see they've got the small part in here which grips your wire tip. And then it's got the bigger part back in here which grips your nozzle, take your nozzle on and off easy. And it's got the pointy nose to snip down the end, it's got the end to grab the wire, it's got the snips to cut it off. Alright, let's give that another crack, eh? We're back in action. Alright, I'll continue with this welding and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, really cracking along now. Have all the rear floor brace welds done. Like I said, I've got the front brace just up underneath the car. I just slid it up underneath, lined up these bolt holes for the seat bolts. You can see, where's that hole? Low story. There it is there. Put them in, put some Tech screws in so I can pull the brace up close to the floor, ready for welding. Got that done all the way across, so I'm going to start in the middle up here. I'm going to start these welds in the middle here, work my way out. Might have to move some Tech screws and keep welding it, but even just with that brace in Tech screwed in there, it's keeps solid. Like back here, this is a freaking solid bit of car now. So yeah, I'll work my way through there and I'll show you how we go along the way. Oops. I've got wire fused to the end of the electrode here. Hopefully it didn't all cobble up. No, it's fucked in my welder again. Yep. Alright. I welded end of the wire to the electrode. I got too close there because the wire went through the hole and I pushed it through. But I'll fix that up. I'll just sort my wire out and I'll keep going, but you get the general gist of what I'm doing there. This is what happens if you weld your wire to the end of your sort of electrode in your MIG. I'll turn this off. You see the wire all cobbled up down here. Here it is here. Broken off at the end where it goes through, so I'll cut that off, pull the wire through and fix it up. In case you're wondering what wire I'm using, there it is there. It's 0.6 of a millimetre. What is the code there? WS5006. It's just a SIG weld mild steel wire. That's good. That's good. Don't forget to put up. That's one here. I'm sure this too. Is there? Keep on the radio. Alright, put it in. This will be coming. I'm going to go for 4 sides. I'm going to wisely. Not a bevel, but yeah, right. I'm going to Kelsey. You just need to work with it. Kelsey, you just need to work with it. That's the hole, down I will. I'll do that. I'll let the side go around. Very simple. Very similar. Take a field up. You have a little place around the touch of the device. You do it stacked sides. Run like contact to the runner. Let's get down and line exactly. No idea. That's what it's doing. Let me find out this just this is they want to find well, so 7.5 maximum wife, please, and again, well, because only can break between the two plates. And the penetration is not useful. And generally, one side, that's good. This is the previous. weld there. So you put it on factory also, like like easy. You got that just to go now. With that screw. Another one. Screw not touch. You see that? Big body go through. Get down the screw. We go. Look at the other one. So then you also have screws. They won't pull down the force. We don't have to screws down here. And not all the way. You go. I'll put screws through the brace and outside. You can't rest that. I'll go up here. Pull that through and continue around. That's screws there. See how it goes. Good. Now we get it. Oops. Don't put that with it. Let's go. You get the one switch. That's it. Ah, that's what I get. See there. Stop it in the glass. It's all right. And you also carry it over this side. I'm not sure you can see that. I've got 12 wire in there. Every time you weld, I'm trying to get 12 bucks. It's way too low. Everything is too low. I'm on seal and 60 away. 60 miles. That's it. Alright. Let's see what we got here. You get it out. Let's screw this on. Just put it in. I don't go around. There you go. That's just clean. We'll get it well in there. Let's do that. Good. Alright, we're ready. Jump Tony. Put a screw in there. There. Alright, I think that is all the bubbles on this side. Now we'll wait at the front here. Alright, I moved it over to this side for you. Let's get welding. Just trying to show you the whole process for this pan going in. I'll get a tech screw in there just to pull it together. Bit of a tap with the old friendly persuader. There we go. You can pull it down to 6 cm, when it's out the hole, the texture off. Just down and go through. Alright. Just down root, yeah. Some nice on there. The fan was unbelieving. Gets away. So the pipe. Lots of nickel down there. One more done. Another happy with brother. Really, I see it, don't you? Alright, I can get the one out there. Pull it in. Let's see what's the other done. There we go. Last screw. Alright, that looks like all the tech screws out, all the... Mate, that's tough as freaking nails now. Now I've got to put a couple of spot welds underneath the brace as it joins the chassis rail there, and I'm done. Done for now. I'll give you a quick glance of what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm grinding these, so before I start grinding they look like that. And this side over here, when I finish they look like that. And then that's just with the edge of a grinder. See if I can get the right angle there, so you can still see the ring of the edge of the weld. I'll just get the flapper disc when I'm finished and just give it a quick lick over just to polish it up, and then I'll spray some more primer on them and seal them off. You see these ones here I've done as well. A bit harder because they're on the firewall there. I noticed I've got one spot weld over there I haven't finished. I've got one here somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but I've got a bit of a gap down the side of the weld. There it is right there. There, gap. I missed that one altogether. I'll keep grinding that other side over there and the firewall, and I'll flapper disc them up and clean them up, give them some priming, a bit of prime, and I'll show you finished product. That's it. It's all complete. It's all complete. You can see at the front there, the welds are ground back. Looks pretty tidy. A couple of little bumps and marks there. Front floor brace welded in. That's a bit of weld through primer on there. Rear brace welded in, just with the bolt holes left there. Look, if you're going to replace a floor in a car, you've got to replace a floor in a car, right? This is like extreme level, but could have just done the little pans like I mentioned, but those resto spares, rare spares ones, they're really, really poor quality compared to this. Like this has even got the hole there for the little drain plugs, you know, like this is the original drain plug in the back one here. Got the 2 holes there. I'm going to match that by drilling the 2 holes in that. I've got some new caps that go in there. But right now I'm going to clear the rest of the crap out of the car, make sure there's nothing laying around on it. I'm going to jack the car back up again. Now the floor's fully welded back in. Get it off these floor braces. Okay, what is this? Bolt here? What is that bolt? Jack up. Jack up this one. Jack up this here. I'll leave it in the Jack up, I'll get the hole. Ready? Put it on. Put it on. Let's leave that for now. Let it let in. Let the pressure on the jack. Tighten this up now. Get back as well. Put it in the sorted. That's that one too. Lower it back down to that thing. Yeah. Lock up this bolt. And lower it back down onto there. Locked in. Bar away. Tighten the nut, the bolt. Let's try that again. Alright. So we really want to flip it over that way, right? Because we want to see the bottom. Lots of bits of crap in the bottom, all sliding around and moving around. Oh, that one's locked in there. That one's locked in there. All right, I'll grab the camera and I'll show you how it's looking from the bottom. It'll walk. So you can see here I still have to, that's why I rolled it over, I've still got to spot weld those ones in under the front of the firewall. I've just got some tech screws just holding it in position at the moment. There you can see the body brace where it's welded in, where I've got to still, where the tech screw holes, where I still need to finish the welds in some of those spots there. But you can see it's full pano welds on those. Let me get a light here for you. And there's my welds underneath towards the chassis, which I ground off already. These are my ones on the front brace, and you can see again the ones like this one just here. Where is it? That one just there. That's tech screw hole, which I have to fill in. But you gotta be freaking happy with that. Look how freaking awesome that is. So neat and tidy. Like I said, I've got a few extra little holes to weld up and complete underneath. You can see in a few spots here where I had a bit of a blow through. I had to do a bit of welding on it. So one other thing, this is the bit where I had to cut off the chassis before. Oh, that's not that one. That's just that front bit there, right? So that's all fully prepped pretty much to weld in. Once I get it in position there, line it up with the hole, tack weld it all. That's where the body mount goes, and that'll rejoin this chassis back to the rest of the car. I've got one for the top, one for the bottom, but I've got to finish dressing these welds, prime it up again. And then when I'm done, it will look like an original body mount. Right, so it's up on its side again. Just going to polish up all these little bits here where I need to do some more welding on where the where the tech screw holes came through. Right, on side again. Just going to see where I need to do some welding where the screw holes came through. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. I've got 10 bottom lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, just touch yourself. Just do that now. Just rolling up first, just bottom bit, start welding on primer. Alright, let's see what we got on. These one. Take that. That's really better. A little bit sorted there. Need to find out exactly. Just there we go. Let's get one of these. Okay, that's all those spot welds tidied up underneath there. I'll have to just dress them up with my grinder. Oh, there's a couple more dots there. And I'm done. Just a couple of pinholes. Right now, my job now is to turn that off. Get rid of that for a sec. Move the welder out of the way. Now I need to weld on these little babies. Flush. Alright, let's have a look at that. I wonder why I couldn't see it, didn't have my glasses on. Nice and smooth. Alright, let's get a weld up the front of there to there. Look, I've got to knock that in. I've got to pull the bottom out. So let's have a go at that. Full power on the MIG. Full power on the MIG. Alright, we've got the top one just tacked on there. I'll see if I can just bring that in with the hammer a bit. That looks alright there. I'll get these welds on. Actually, I should get the weld on the front edge here first if I can. See if I can't bring that edge down. Drilled them out. I left the old spot weld marks in the back, so they're welded on top of that actual existing spot weld. I'm at the point now where I'm just dressing all these. What are we doing here? Is that not focused? Dressing these spot welds under the firewall. I don't know what you call it, the firewall tunnel neck here. Some of them are a little bit big. The welds are a bit hard to get into. Got a couple more welds to put in down here, as you can see. Most of the way it's a nice, neat fit. But as the panel goes up, you can see sort of just here. You can see just here how it sort of thins out there. Like this bit of the new panel thins out. It's not the full width like it is down here. So you can see it's a lot thinner, and I couldn't pull the panel. This way anymore because it left the step the wrong direction inside. So left it flush. Got me spot welds on there, ground them back. I'll show you how I grind these spot welds. When I finish them, I'll get those last couple of welds in. Actually, I might just weld them up first, and then I'll just show you how I grind after that. As you can see, we're nearly done. All these spot welds along here have all been ground back and cleaned up. Pretty neat, actually. You wouldn't even know. Once this is done, you won't even know this is a new floor.